to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video for you guys because I feel like that this videos will be very helpful for you guys. One, two, I do think that this is something that is not on my channel as much. I've talked about it in the past on my channel, but it's time to update that video. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about growth retention. You are able to grow your hair, but you're not able to retain that growth. So your hair, like for example, breaks off easily. Your ends are not the healthiest. Your hair in general can easily break. So today I'm gonna give you guys tips on how to retain your hair growth, because honestly, if you're growing your hair and you're not able to retain that hair growth, like if your hair breaks off very easily, it's very frustrating. One, two, there's really no point of all of the steps you have to do, all of the work that you put into your hair if you're not going to be able to retain the results that you want for your hair. So I was debating on if I should do like a routine for you guys to show you like a growth routine for retaining growth, but I thought that wouldn't be as helpful as just giving you guys tips, because the growth routine that I do is to help your hair grow, but this is more of for people who, okay, I have it down, I do the routines that you put on your channel, or I have a growth routine for myself, but I'm not able to retain that growth. So my first tip for retaining growth in your hair is definitely to stay consistent with your hair routine. When I was actually transitioning, I would say that I was consistent with routines, but I wasn't consistent with a consistent routine, if that makes sense. I would be like all over the place, like trying all these different things. I was so excited to like do my natural hair. I was just trying so many different things, which is a good thing because I was able to try out a lot of things and find out what works for my hair, which I highly recommend for those of you who are completely lost. But also I was just kind of like all over the place, so my hair was all over the place. And at that time I was not actually focused on hair growth. I was more so focused on, okay, I had to get my hair healthy. So I noticed that my hair was not really reacting to my routines, and like things were just not going the way that I would see like other people's routine going. So when I went to the Diva Curl salon, which is where I got my first curly hair cut, the hairstylist told me that the reason why my hair wasn't like really reacting to my routines and my hair felt so weak is because I had damaged ends. I wasn't like taking care of the problem. I was kind of like trying to do all this stuff to mask the problem. And also I didn't have like a consistent lined up routine on what to do, and I actually didn't know why I was doing certain steps. Once I understood each step of my routine and why I was doing those steps in my routine, it became a lot more clear to me. Everything came more into order, and my hair actually started to not only retain hair growth, but it was growing longer than what I have ever had my hair grow in the past. Be consistent in your routine and know why you're doing each step. So if you guys are looking for more of a routine and you want to see like products that I use and things like that, make sure you click this video right here where I show you guys the products that I use on a faithful basis. This next tip is one that I always talk about that is super important, and that is to make sure that you're having a nice and balanced diet. So a lot of people don't like to hear that you have to eat healthier and you have to like have a healthier lifestyle in order to feel more vibrant and for honestly your hair to be more vibrant. I noticed that my hair went like from here to like here once I started to eat healthier. My hair felt like it was retaining more moisture. I just felt like my hair was just had a lot more luster to it. The reason being is because a lot of the vitamins and nutrients and fatty acids and things that are in hair products are coming from plants and fruits and seeds, nuts. Those things are what is giving that product that extra oomph. So when you are having that in your products, as well as you're matching it with a healthy diet, then you are definitely going to have quicker results. So I get this question on my channel a lot. Some of you guys ask me like, oh, well, do you think that your healthy lifestyle is the reason why your hair is like long, or do you think your healthy lifestyle is the reason why your skin is clear, or whatever? I get different questions like that on my channel, and the answer is yes. If you have a healthier diet, then it's going to definitely show on the outside. There are times where you can have like a really bad diet and you can look perfectly fine on the outside. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that for me, I feel like that my skin and my hair is a lot more vibrant when I'm eating like nutritious foods. So like fruits and vegetables, smoothies really will get you far. And so like I mentioned, you don't have to be perfect. I tried the whole trying to be perfect route, and it actually doesn't lead you anywhere far. I feel like that just intuitive eating, making sure that you are eating a balanced meals, caring about what you're putting into your body, is also going to help you to feel a lot more vibrant and feel better. Especially herbs. Herbs can really help you to feel a lot better, because what you eat has an effect on your mood as well. So when it comes to your hair, if you have, you know, for example, done a whole lot of steps, you are consistent with the routines that you are doing, and you're still not seeing much of any result, then I recommend that you try to switch over your diet and try to eat a little bit more healthier and see if that makes a difference, as well as exercising to get like the sweat out of your body. Now, for me, exercising is one of the things that I always fall flat on, because I'm not someone who likes to go to the gym, but I do try to do yoga. Yoga is something that I really like, or I'll try to like walk or do like exercises that I like that maybe other people would, you know, not like. It seems so small, but small changes in your life can make a huge effect. So that's why I talk about health so much on my channel, besides the fact that I went to school for it. As you guys know, it's also just like a really big passion of mine. So if you guys want to see more on health and like foods and things like that, make sure that you like this video or comment down below and let me know, because I can go on and on, but I don't want to get too far into it. All right, so my next tip is definitely to learn your hair. So this kind of goes back to the first tip that I told you guys when I first went natural. Well, when I was transitioning, I was not really sure what I was doing. So I had to kind of like learn based on like research and just like trial and error. Even if you just do trial and error, is that you learn your hair so that when it comes time to like take care of your hair, you're not completely lost. Learning your hair is super important, and my biggest tip for that is to have do trial and error, see what works for your hair, and when those routines do not prove that they are working, you have to let them go and try something else. But yeah, learning your hair, learning what works, learning what does not work is really important, because you'll know like, okay, this is exactly what my hair responds great to, and this is exactly what my hair does not respond great to. So once you have your routines together and you've done those first 3 steps and your hair is now growing and you're actually retaining growth, next tip is definitely to adjust your routines as your hair grows. So what I mean by this is a really good example of this is that when I first started YouTube, I had like certain things that I would do to my hair, and so when I go back and look at those videos, I'm like, wow, I don't do that to my hair anymore, because my hair is a lot longer. So my hair used to be a lot shorter, and so I would be able to do certain routines, and there were certain products I was using, not just because my hair was shorter, just because at that time in my routine, those are the products that were working for me, or those were the routines that were working for me. Whereas now my hair is a lot more longer, and so some of the tedious things that I used to do, I just don't have time to do. I have way too much hair now, and so I don't do those things that much anymore. Or like products that I used to use, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never use that type of product now, or that type of brand now. So a lot of things changed, and so as your hair grows and your texture starts to loosen, like my texture used to be a lot tighter. As your hair grows, you're gonna have to adjust your routines. There's certain hairstyles that will look different on your hair as it grows. So the reason why I put this tip in here is because a lot of times like people start to get frustrated with their hair, because they're like, oh, well, this used to work, but now it's not working. What's wrong with my hair? And so it makes them kind of like give up. So I put this tip in this video because I encourage you guys not to give up if something is not working in your routine anymore, but to just change it, because your hair may have changed as it grew, or that product, like you never know, that product may have changed as your hair grew, because you know you got to look at the ingredient list. They can change their ingredients at any time, or your hair just might not be responding to that product anymore or that routine anymore. So it's now time for you to adjust it. So my next tip is very important, and that is to not get scissor happy. So I know that cutting your hair and cutting your ends and stuff like that, it's important, but if you get too scissor happy, then how do you expect for your hair to retain growth because you always cut it. You know, cutting your hair is like really like something that people think that you have to do all the time. No, you don't. I don't cut my hair that much, and so I wait until I need to cut my hair, and that's when I cut my hair. Like I trim my ends. And so I know that that's not the type of rule that everyone likes to go by, and like there are some people who comment on some of my videos and they're like, why don't you ever do like trimming videos or hair videos? Because that is not something that I do that often. And then when I do those things, I just normally just cut my hair off camera. Some of you guys noticed that my hair was a little bit shorter because I did a huge trim on my hair. Like I said, I don't do that a lot. No, I just feel like that if you want your hair to grow and you want your hair to be long, there's really no reason for you to continue to cut it. And there are some cultures where Native American, Red Yo culture as well, they don't cut their hair at all. And their hair is super long. And Native Americans only cut their hair on like moon cycles, or if something traumatic happens in their life. There's like different time frames that they cut their hair, but it has to be like a reason. So please don't come at me in the comments saying like, oh, if you don't cut your hair, you won't be able to retain growth, because that is not true. It's all depending on your hair and what you believe and what you think for your hair. For me, I don't think that cutting your hair all the time is helpful. And sometimes it can be counteractive if you do it too much. Okay, so my last tip is definitely to know, what does hair growth look like to your hair? So what I mean by that is that a lot of times like hair growth for someone else like can be a lot different from your hair depending on the texture. So for example, if your curls are extremely tight, or if you have like extremely tight curls is like one of the examples I can think of. Your hair is going to take a little bit longer to show its length. I always say that curly hair actually expands first and then it droops. And so that's when you'll start to see like the length. But if you have really tight curls, it's gonna take a lot longer for your length to show versus someone who has loose curls. So if you have like tighter curls, pay attention to if your hair is expanding, and so then it'll eventually droop. One way, of course, to see how long your hair is just to straighten it. And so if you want to do that like once every year, or however much you want to do that, then you will be able to see like your hair growth and if your hair is growing. But other than that, it's very important to pay attention to your hair and not to look at someone else's hair and think, oh my gosh, like my hair doesn't look like that. But you know, you have a completely different texture. Everyone's hair is different. Okay guys, so hopefully this video was helpful with tips that can help you with retaining hair growth. I know that you guys love to grow your hair, but you also want to keep that hair growth. If you guys want to see more hair growth videos, then make sure that you click over here. I'll have that box here or somewhere at the end of this video to where you can see a whole fiasco of videos where I talk about hair growth. So make sure you click there. And also I'll have some information down in the description box. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.